school football rivalry in the nation, Needham High versus Wellesley High. And although the players have changed over the years, this matchup today is still burning with the same intensity as that first scrimmage over 103 years ago. It began in 1882. The time was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. The game began on Morton Field. It was an unmarked, bumpy plot of land located between the Wellesley Town Hall and Dr. Morton's cottage. The opposition, Needham High, arrived on high-wheeled bicycles pedaling their way up Washington Street to the improvised cheers of their high school presidents, who also acted as referees. The rules were simple: no stopping, no timeouts, no time to line up. On that first game, there were 22 boys to a team, and when the lineup proved the Wellesley team 2 men short, Arthur Oldham, their captain, sent his brother into the crowd to round up 2 more players. They were boys likely to have been recruited from the Newton, Needham, and Natick Society for Apprehending Horse Thieves, a popular club at the time. In the rough and tumble of that first game, A.H. Lauren of Needham had his new shirt ripped off and played the rest of the game wearing his coat. It was a move that also earned him a trip behind the shed when he got home, at his father's chagrin for having ruined his best shirt. At day's end, Wellesley remained the victor by a score of 4-0, and Needham, with a wait-till-next-year boast, offered the return match to be held at Greenfield. The tradition had been set. Needham High, not to be outdone, won the next 3 games in the following years and remained victorious in the early years of that decade. But in 1914, Wellesley regained its lead. It had gathered a ferocious reputation, being dubbed as the high school team with a college schedule. Legend has it that parents canceled games that year against Wellesley because they were unwilling to let them play against the heavy and speedy Wellesley team. In those days, fans were allowed to rush onto the field to tackle a runner who had advanced above the defensive line. But the game of football was improving. Newt Rockney and his 4 horsemen were rewriting football history with the now infamous Statue of Liberty play and the invention of the forward pass. But uniforms and helmets were still not standard equipment. Most boys wore headbands as their standard protection. Over the years, this traditional matchup has included fathers and sons, brothers and cousins. Their famous names have weathered time's fading hand, leaving a legacy of fond memories on the field. Through the years, this matchup has always remained close, with Needham winning 43 games and Wellesley winning 44. It is a tradition, no doubt, to continue on to the 21st century, and we eagerly await the end of today's game to see who remains the victor. This is Barbara Fitzgerald, Needham.
Hello, I'm Joe Dudish, and with me today is John McDermott, who was the ex-head coach here at Wellesley High School. John, I know this is a little bit of a different situation for you being up in the press box, but maybe you can give us some ideas of what has gone on in the past during the Thanksgiving Day game here with Wellesley in Needham High School.
Well, I hate to tell you, Joe, that the date that I arrived here in Wellesley was in September of 1960, and I have seen every Wellesley game from 1960 up until today, save for one. And this is my second game seeing it as a spectator. The first year I was out of coaching here at Wellesley, I went and saw my son play in his Thanksgiving Day game down in Randolph, and last year I came and saw the Wellesley-Needham game for the first time as a spectator. All those other years I was involved as either an assistant coach or the head coach. The upbeat tempo for both the Needham and the Wellesley fans, for the Needham and the Wellesley players, the cheerleaders, the band, and everybody is absolutely phenomenal. We have had tremendous rivalries with Needham that goes way, way back. I can recall many, many years ago where they instituted a dinner on the Monday afternoon before the game, where all the coaches and the co-captains go, and they break bread with one another and wish each other best of luck, but not enough luck to win the game.
Wellesley celebrated their Thanksgiving Day victory by beating Natick. Do you think that might have an effect on it? Does it take some of the punch out of the Thanksgiving Day game, or do you feel that it is being such a big game that it is that Wellesley can get up for this game as much as they gotten up for the the Natick football game?
Well, I think that the analogy you use is an excellent one. I know that when the Natick game was over, the coaching staff and all the people here in town, the teachers and the administrators and whatever, were reminding the kids, don't get down for the Milton game. You have to make sure that you stay up. Natick is over. You celebrated from Friday night till Monday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon or whatever, but you have a big game to play. So lo and behold, they go down to Milton and play one heck of a ball game and beat Milton handily. I think that a lot of people forgot to say it the following week, and they go down and they play Dedham, a team that they should have beaten quite easily or quite handily, and then the old cliche comes out that on any given day, and that's exactly what happened to them. Dedham pulled an upset of its own, and that was a huge upset for the Dedham coaching staff and the Dedham kids. So I think the letdown that you alluded to has already happened in the Dedham game. They came back, Wellesley came back and played a real fine Braintree team last week and did a very good job on them. And I think that coming up Thanksgiving Day, it's the last time in the fire for all the seniors. You saw them introduced earlier, and you can see that they're going to be ready. I think the tradition of the whole thing and being their last game will keep everybody on their toes, and I expect to have a very fine ball game here today.
Yeah, we've been around being over at Needham High School and then being over here at Wellesley right now. And I think the tradition that surrounds the game is so important. I, of course, have been so impressed by the tradition of this Thanksgiving Day game ever since I've been involved with it. Looking at the game, just a few observations from the Needham side. I think that the Wellesley coaching staff knows what Needham can do. You know, they're a throwing ball club. They've thrown for 9 touchdowns and they've ran for 3. I mean, there's no secret to knowing that that's a throwing club. I think Wellesley is also aware of the fact that Needham has come on extremely strong in the second half of the season, and it's not the same team that played in the beginning of the season. I also, from my point of view, I also think that Wellesley is well aware of that, and of course, I think that they're going to be prepared for Needham as far as Needham throwing the ball. What Needham has to do to prepare for Wellesley, of course, Wellesley has a strong running attack. Maybe you would like to tell us something about that running attack or some other aspects of the Wellesley club that Needham should look out for come Thanksgiving Day.
Well, Joe, I don't want to give away any secrets, so maybe this will be shown afterwards, but I would simply say I'd make a couple of remarks in that particular area. Number one, at the end of the season last year, Coach Levin did 2 things. He instituted a weight program that has become extremely successful, as you can see from the size of some of the seniors here. In addition to that, he wrote away for a videotape of the Delaware wing tee offense, and that is what he uses. Unlike many coaches that I know personally, who vary their offense from a given set once they begin, he has not done that. If it is not on the videotape, if it is not in the book relative to the Delaware wing tee, then he doesn't make it up, he doesn't run it. His team has Scott Pomfret in the backfield. He's an exceptionally fine runner. I talked to Andy earlier in preparation for this particular broadcast and asked him if he had any particular surprises, and he said, well, other than the Natick game, he said, I've had a couple, and perhaps the biggest one was Scott Pomfret. They felt that he was going to be potentially a fine fullback. They had no idea that he was going to be able to do the things that he has done.
Well, it should prove to be interesting come Thanksgiving Day. I feel really fortunate to have you working with me that day, as well as Gino Capoletti, who will be the other color person that I have with me that day. So any kind of predictions as far as scores for that game?
Yes, I think I could predict that the game is going to be on Thursday, and I think it's going to start at 10 o'clock, and that's about all the predictions I could make.
Well, I think we've spoken enough. I think we should watch some football. So we'll take you back to the game right now. Thank you.
I wish I had thought of it. Wellesley High School's 1985 Red Raiders, the seniors are number 16, fullback David King. Number 20. Number 24, defensive back Michael Burke. And line Number 65, offensive and defensive tackle, David Blackwood. Nose guard, Steve Massini. Number 81, defensive end, Jim O'Leary. Number 82, offensive end, Doug Bucati. Number 83, offensive end, George Gordon. The first of Wellesley's tri-captains, number 86, defensive and offensive end, Paul McDonald. Number 62, tri-captain, Michael Hester, offensive tackle and linebacker. Number 20, tri-captain, Scott Pomfret, fullback and defensive back. And now the Wellesley High School coaching staff. Wellesley's coaching staff, offensive line coach, Bill Tracy. Backfield coach, Brian Gibson. Line coach, Frank Cooney. The co-captain of the 1960 undefeated Wellesley High School football team, line coach, Mike Mastro. And Wellesley's head coach, Andy Levin.
The 1985 Needham High School seniors. Number 51, middle linebacker, Ed McGovern. Number 41, wingback, Kevin Abley. Number 73, offensive tackle, Daniel Pitts. Number 11, wide receiver, Damon Aronson. Number 54, center, Tom McAvoy. Number 77, offensive tackle, Matthew Scott. Number 69, linebacker, Brian Sullivan. Number 20, defensive back, Ed Levy. Number 72, defensive end, Andy Mendelson. Number 99, fullback, Ken Bowers. Number 42, tailback, Mark Forbes. Number 42, wide receiver, Rob Rosenbaum. Number 24, defensive back, Lou Baker. Number 22, tight end, John Jacobs. Number 12, quarterback, Frank Ficcardi. Number 86, end, Kyle Reicher. Number 57, guard, Stevie Milia. Coaching staff of the Needham High School football team. Special teams and defensive backs, Bob Lockhart. Offensive coordinator, John Freitas. And the head coach, Roy Johan. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 104th meeting of Needham High School and Wellesley High School. It seems like it's snowing here a bit today. I'm Joe Dudish. I'll be your play-by-play host, and with me today is John McDermott, Physical Education Director for Wellesley High School and ex-head football coach. John, do you think these conditions are going to add anything to the play in today's game?
I think they'll probably add misery to both sides, but other than that, I think that it's going to be an equal situation, whereas Wellesley's primarily a running team and Needham is primarily a passing team. I think that probably the advantage with this type of weather would have to go with the Wellesley Raiders.
John, if we look back over the years, we have an even series, I believe. The same amount of wins and the same amount of losses. Of course, they're tied at 44 each and 9 ties. This is the 97th game, and it seems like every year that I've been involved with it, it's always been a one-game advantage, and then it goes back into a tie. You'd have to say, I guess, possibly that Wellesley might be the favorite here with today's game, looking at the record and being at home.
I believe you're absolutely right, Joe. Wellesley is currently going into this game at a 6-3 pace, and they've had a very successful season. They've had a little difficulty with the teams that most everyone has had trouble with, namely Walpole, of course, Framingham North as well. And then there was a huge upset as far as Wellesley is concerned, and that was the Dedham game. But they are coming off a very, very strong season. They do a fine job defensively. They're 4th in the league in offense. They're 4th in the league in defense. And their overall rating at this particular time is 4th standing in the league. That certainly will change today, I think, with the Walpole playing Framingham and Natick playing Framingham South. Walpole playing Framingham North, that is.
We just had the introduction of the seniors from both sides, from Needham and from Wellesley. Both bands are down on the field, so we'll take you down there momentarily with the presentation of today's game. Just looking at Needham, I would have to say that the weather is certainly going to have some effect on Needham, being a passing club. Looking at Needham's touchdowns, they've scored 9 touchdowns in the air, 3 on the ground. Most of their scoring comes outside the 20-yard line. Certainly going to have some kind of effect on Needham's passing game with this weather. One thing to remember, Needham has played a strong second half. They've added Dardinsky, a sophomore running back who seemed to balance out their team a bit more than they have in the beginning of the year, and Jerry Sullivan, another sophomore running back. So I think we can possibly expect to see Needham running a little bit more than they have in the past. We'll take you right down to the field now for the flip of the coin and then for the national anthem. You see the captains down there for Wellesley, of course. John, would you want to say who the captains are for Wellesley?
The Wellesley has tri-captains, as you can see. Number 86 is Paul McDonald, a senior, a fine tight end, and he plays tight end on offense and he plays defensive end. Number 20 is Scott Pomfret, one of the finest fullbacks, running backs in the Bay State League. He also plays safety. And finally, the third tri-captain is number 62, Michael Hester, and he plays offensive tackle, and he's an exceptionally fine linebacker, if not one of the finest in the league.
Needham captains, number 51, Eddie McGovern, number 41, Kevin Abley, of course, and number 73, Danny Pitts. That will be the captains who you'll see on the team on the field from time to time. I didn't happen to see who won the toss. Well, it appears as if Wellesley has won the toss, and now we'll seem to have take you back down to the field for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, join us in the national anthem.
He said I can't stand here.
To give you a bit of wrong information, it seems as if Needham has won the toss and has elected to take the choice from in the second half. They will be kicking off. So Wellesley will be starting off receiving. The kicker, of course, for Needham, number 86, Kyle Reicher. Needham will be on the field first defensively. They run out of a 4-4. They will do some inside and outside stunting from time to time. Again, Wellesley with the running threat of Pomfret, number 20, Scott Pomfret, who's a fullback. They want to take that away from Wellesley. If they can stop Wellesley's running game, they feel that Needham has a very good shot of winning the ball game. Offensively, Wellesley runs out of a Delaware wing tee. John, would you want to explain maybe what the difference of that might be from any other wing tee? Or?
Well, Wellesley will play a pro set. It's primarily a running offense. That is evident by the fine job that their backfield has done all year. As we look out on the field to the right of the screen, we see that number 10, Leon Holt, is going to be deep to receive the punt. In addition, number 35, who is Kevin Reel, will be back there, and number 23, David Spazzano. Number 16 is in the middle, David King, in case the kickoff doesn't go quite as far as Needham might hope.
No, I totally agree.
Kicking off for Needham will be Kyle Reicher.
With me today is also one of the Wellesley football players, Andrew Kelton, a junior. Is that right, I believe, Andrew? Andrew's brother, of course, Aaron Kelton is the quarterback for Wellesley, and here we go with the kickoff. Ball's picked up on about the 20-yard line there by number 83, and he's got it wide open, and he's finally brought down there. Spazzano carrying the ball, and brought down there by number 86, the kicker, Kyle Reicher.
Tackle made by number 54 for Needham.
I didn't see any adverse results from the field being this way, but we do notice that he did run to his left, where the field is a little bit less slippery. The same on the right side of the field. The middle of the field may be a little bit slippery, especially as the game goes along.
All right, number 50, Mike Rosenberg, the center, comes out over the ball. Damon Aronson has a full backfield. I'm sorry, Aaron Kelton, excuse me, has a full backfield. Handoff that time to number 20, Scott Pomfret. Pomfret picks up about 10 yards, very close to a first down. Inside on Needham territory on about the 46-yard line. I'd say it's maybe about a half an inch. Brought down there by halfback, number 24, Lou Baker.
This is the type of offense that Wellesley has been running all year. It was a simple dive play, off tackle to the right.
We have a split end to this side and a split back to the right side. Two up backs. Seems to me as if Aaron is calling some signals off the line of scrimmage, and there's a flag. It seems like, I believe that's too much time. Can't be exactly sure on what that call will be, John.
Yeah, time.
Too much time.
Puts the ball back on the Wellesley 49-yard line. Second down.
All the plays are called by Coach Levin on the sideline, and he runs it in. He does the same thing that Natick's Tom Lamb does, in that he cheats a little bit and gets out on the field and gives the quarterback the play.
Again, Wellesley comes out into the same formation, split end left, right halfback split out to the right side. Quarterback sneak that time on running on that 4-4, and he picks up about 6 yards. Aaron Kelton taking advantage of that 4-4 defense, seeing a little opening up there, and takes it right up the center. And they brought down by John Snyder, number 31, the outside linebacker.
You can be assured that that was not a call play. Against the 4-4, if at any time it's open, the quarterback will in fact take off.
Full backfield. That's time there, number 36, Kevin Reel, 35, excuse me, Kevin Reel. They're brought down there by number 41, Kevin Abley, one of the tri-captains from Needham High School.
He was one of the tacklers for Needham. And Snyder.
Seems to be a constant light snow continuing to drop here at Wellesley. As you see, as we go through the game, more and more people will be coming into the game, I'm sure, as we have seen in the past. This time Wellesley comes out in a slot left man in motion. That time number 10, Leon Holt. Handoff, and there's a flag on the play. He's number 20, Scott Pomfret, brought down there by number 24, Lou Baker.
Made by number 21, Bob McGovern for Needham.
When we see the flag go up and we see the official stopping the play while it's going on, that means that something has occurred before the snap of the ball. And in this case, it's a procedure penalty that occurred before the ball was snapped back to the quarterback.
Line of scrimmage now is the...
We have second down and a short 6 yards.
Second down and about
16 yards. I'm confused again. It's changing the balls. I think we'll see that happen a lot. Wellesley comes out with a flanker right. Flanker man, number 35, Kevin Reel. Pomfret and Holt in the backfield. Kelton hands off this time to number 10, Leon Holt. Leon picks up maybe about 6 yards on the play, where he's brought down there by number 57. It appeared to be Stevie Melia.
I'm a bit surprised at this point that Scott Pomfret hasn't carried the ball. In fact, a little bit more than he's carrying it, and it'll be interesting to see if this pattern continues.
Third down and about 11. Wellesley with a man set to the right this time. It looks like a reverse there, number 35. And he's brought down there by Kevin Abley. Kevin Reel on a reverse was brought down there by number 41, Kevin Abley, the tri-captain again from Needham. Kevin had 2 key tackles thus far this quarter. That brings up a 4th down for Wellesley and 6 yards to go.
6 yards to go for Wellesley.
Aaron Kelton's the kicker.
Aaron Kelton is the kicker. Has Aaron faked any at all this year?
Yes, he's run a couple of times. I don't think he'll do it from here, however.
Close, very close to being blocked that time. Needham certainly could have capitalized on that. Number 69, Brian Sullivan was in there and came very close to blocking that.
Needham will take over. 1st and 10 for the Needham Rockets.
So Needham has held Wellesley on that first series of plays, and now they'll take over on the 20-yard line.
Call it the 21. 21.
We will we'll give you the starting lineups from both teams. For Needham High School, number 86, Kyle Reicher, left end. Left tackle, 73, Dan Pitts. And left guard, number 65, Scott Jackson. And we'll get back to that. Needham comes out in a normal pro set. Pro set right this time. Handoff to Ficcardi. Handing off to number 44, Tim Dardinsky. Brought down by Chris Muzzy. And number 62, the linebacker, Mike Hester.
Wellesley will be primarily running a 52 defense. They do very little stunting and very little tricking. They'll bring the safety up to the cornerback up to the strong side, and they'll drop off the other corner. They have been able to run this defense successfully all year.
Wellesley running out of 5-2. We have a wide slot right this time. Ficcardi back to throw. He's got Damon Aronson wide out there, and Damon Aronson has it wide open. Looks like Damon's going to go all the way this time. The threat of Needham with the long bomb. Damon Aronson, touchdown.
Damon Aronson. 78 yards.
78-yard touchdown.
For a touchdown.
Damon Aronson from Frank Ficcardi. The long ball threat, of course.
Ficcardi throwing to Damon Aronson.
This is a simple drop back pattern. He's going to look deep, and Leon Holt, number 10, is the free safety. He's going to have a good eye on the ball, but he simply misjudges it, as does the other safety as well. Is he going to go here or here?
It's okay, I'm thin. How are you?
Joining us in the booth right now is Gino Capoletti. Gino, Joe Dudish, nice to have you here.
Joe,
how are you?
Nice to have you here. Nice way to meet you.
Really? And John McDermott, of
I know
course.
John, sure. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Gino.
Came in just in time to see that long touchdown pass, huh?
Well, that was Needham's first possession. Of course, Wellesley had the ball, and they had some trouble getting a first down. They had a few penalties that hurt